Hey friends, it's Mika from Made by Mika and welcome back to my channel. Today we are sewing again. It's been a hot minute since I've picked up the sewing machine and made something new, and I really want to share this process with you because today we are making two trendy ass bags. Y'all, I've been seeing these bags all over Pinterest, all over Instagram, all over like actual boutiques in Vancouver, and they're around $200, and it's not it for me. And so I wanted to see if I can try and make them. Luckily, I already have two fabrics from the thrift store from Value Village that I thrifted in the summer, like September. We have this beautiful pistachio silk. Ooh, and we're gonna be making like a silky, scrunchy croissant bag with it. And then we have just a little bit left of this purple organza from the dress video that I posted a few months ago. We have just enough to make a really cool Ruffle Tote bag with it. And I don't really know what I'm doing, okay? I don't, but that's the case with every sewing video I have on my channel. But why not join me on this journey? We'll hopefully figure it out together and see what we can make. Let's go! So I really did not plan very much for this. I did not have a lot of fabric, so I really was just trying to make the most of it. I cut two pieces of approximately 40 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Again, this is such an approximation. I cut two pieces of those and then lined them up at the top. Luckily, my fabric already had a really nicely hemmed portion of it. I think it used to be a curtain, so I knew those lines were straight for sure. So I lined them up at the top, pinned them together, and then just cut the excess, and I wanted a rounded corner for my bag, so that's what I did. Next, I'm just cutting these strips of fabric, preferably if they were all one long piece. That would be the go-to, but I didn't have that with the fabric. So these scraps are about 7 centimeters width, and I just made them as long as I possibly could. I ended up sewing them all together because this is going to be the ruffle trim for the bag. And so I just folded them over twice at one end and hemmed them so they'd have a nice clean edge. And then I set my machine to the longest width and longest length. For me, that was 5, and sewed as straight as I could on the other edge of the strip, and then I just pulled those strings and it created this beautiful ruffle. This is my gathering technique. It is not glamorous and it takes a while. As you can see, I struggle with it, but that's the best thing that works for me. And then I just aligned that ruffle piece with one of the body pieces. This took a while because I wanted to make sure that it was nice and evenly ruffled. Alright, so I've got just the base of the tote here. I really like the little ruffles, it's super cute. So all I need to do is just do the straps and we're done. So I ran out of white thread. So I found this purple one, it'll do, but I have the first strap on. And I even did these like little crisscross things to enforce it because it is super helpful, and it's cute. And so I think too, because I have this like kind of ugly but it's kind of cute purple thread, I want to incorporate it to the rest of the bag so it doesn't look weird just on the straps. So I'm gonna also just do one more thread on the outside to actually also help the bag stay kind of flat and less poofy, and do the other strap, and then we're done. Woo! We're going to be starting on the satin silky scrunchy croissant bag, however you want to call it. This is a reference, so it looks like we just need to do a basic sack shape, flat bottom, scrunchy, like elastic kind of gathering at the top, and then a scrunchy handle. This is my fabric. I have lots. I can afford to mess up for once, which is great because I might. But I was looking at this purse in all angles, and I think we're gonna be able to make this today with only cutting rectangle shapes from the fabric, which is really awesome. I think that makes it way easier for beginner sewers to do this. So I hope it works out, and I can't wait. And if I mess up the first time, I got plenty of fabric to work with. So let's get started. So for this project, you're gonna need 4 rectangles that are 30 centimeters by 35 centimeters. I just cut them into one big piece and cut them in half. That's just what works best for me. I really just don't bother cutting in a straight line. I let my sewing machine do the work for me. That's what works best for me, but you do you. You're gonna be sewing them all together anyway, so they really do not need to be perfect. You won't see it here, but you also need one long rectangle that is 80 centimeters by 10 centimeters. That's going to be your strap. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I always love to start my sewing projects with the easiest part. And for me, the easiest part in this project is the strap. We took that 80 centimeter by 10 centimeter strap that we cut out. I folded it right sides together, and then I just sewed a straight stitch all the way down, turned it inside out, and there we have our strap. Done. Boom. Next, we are taking the 2 pieces of our bag body, putting it wrong sides together, and we're just going to sew along these edges here, closing them and connecting this piece together. Alright, so now if you were to do that, you would get 2 pieces like this. I'm keeping this open-ended because that's what we're going to use for the top. You'll see, don't worry. So we're not going to do anything with this right now, but now we're going to take these 2 pieces and line them up together like so. So they're just both together like this. And then we're going to sew the top here, just a straight stitch again. This is going to be the bottom of our bag. Just make sure that when you're sewing, you're also lining up the top, because that's what's most important here. So just like that, making sure that the top is aligned, and then wherever that lands your bottom, that's where you'll sew. Alright, so now that's all done, we just have a sock. We have basically the means of a tote bag without the straps, which is super cute. However, I do want to do a flat bottom to this bag, and the trick with that is take 2 fingers, put them all the way in the corner like so, and you're gonna have them so that the side of the bag is right in the middle of these 2 fingers, and then you're gonna spread the fingers, making a triangle right at this corner here. And I'm going to just pinch that with my outside hand, hold it together, and grab a pin and just pin that. Then do the same thing, 2 on the other corner. So what it should look like is having these 2 kind of double horns for your tote bag, for your bag. And we're gonna sew just straight stitch across, and that's going to, I'm not sure if I can show you, but that's going to make a flat bottom on the bag. So I'm just going to line these up and make sure that they're approximately the same size, because we don't want the bottom of the bag to be lopsided. So I'm just going to sew this straight stitch across, and I'll check in with you after. The next step is to take the top of your bag and fold it in about 7 centimeters. You're gonna have extra fabric, so don't worry about it. And then you're gonna take a straight stitch and sew 1 long straight stitch all the way around your bag, 1 centimeter away from the top, and then you're gonna do it again about 5 centimeters from the top of your bag. This is going to create a channel for your elastic, and that's what's going to help us make that scrunchy effect at the very top of the bag. Next, I'm going to just cut a little bit of hole just on the inside here, and then I'm going to thread the piece of elastic around. So for that, to figure out how much elastic you need, I basically unraveling my elastic, and I'm just trying to figure out the perimeter, I guess, of the purse that I want. Okay, now I'm finding the hole again with my safety pin, and then I'm also just taking the safety pin and attaching it to the other end. This way now I can kind of play around. If I used the entirety of the elastic, it would look like this. This is not scrunched enough for me, so I'm just gonna take the safety pin and pull some of the elastic out, and that looks a lot better to me. That's perfect. So I'm going to tie the ends together. And then I just tucked the elastic into this channel here, and it's like it doesn't even exist. There is still that hole, and if you really wanted to, you could just patch that up with a simple ladder stitch. I, however, do not care, because this is it's on the inside of the bag. No one's gonna see it, and the rest of the bag looks like this. Cute. So I decided on using this type of yarn. It's just a little bit thicker than your average, but it's still thin enough that I could sew through it. So what I did is I took this blue yarn and I tied it into kind of a slip knot like so, and then I just took my safety pin and attached it like this, and then just thread it through the tube. And now you can kind of see that strap coming together. Ah, it looks so cute. So now I'm just going to take the strap and sew this string to the end of this strap so it doesn't slip through. So now I just have this cute little ruffle scrunch thing, and I'm basically going to take it and attach it to the bag like this, and then I'm just going to do a straight stitch to secure that. I'm going to take out this attachment of my sewing machine to help this circumference be a little smaller and help my bag fit through here. You hear how loud my sewing machine is? It should not be this loud. It like makes a bunch of thumping noises every time it goes. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be doing. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. And I'll show you the final product. This was so chill. What the heck? I thought bags were gonna be so tough. But when you pick a bag that's supposed to be like slinky and scrunchy, then really are setting yourself up for success, you know? Maybe that's why I'm so far none of my projects have turned out to be complete failures, because I don't pick projects that require intense precision. It's all about strategy, people.
My body